Captain Tae-sung Kim stood tall on the bridge of the Earth Alliance vessel, Odyssey. Today was important. After years of preparation, humans would finally meet the Galactic Council. "Are you ready, Captain?" Ji-hyun Park asked. As the ship's diplomatic officer, she had trained for this moment her whole career. "As ready as I'll ever be," Tae-sung said. He adjusted his blue uniform and took a deep breath. "Let's make Earth proud." The Odyssey approached the massive council station. It looked like a silver flower blooming in space, with 17 petal-shaped docks, one for each alien species in the council. "They're sending docking instructions now," said Communications Officer Han-jun. His fingers moved quickly over the control panel. "They've given us the central dock." "That's a good sign." Tae-sung nodded. The central dock was reserved for honored guests. Perhaps the aliens were truly happy to welcome humans to the galactic community. "All hands, prepare for docking," Tae-sung announced over the ship's speakers. "Diplomatic team, report to the main airlock in 20 minutes." As the crew rushed to prepare, Tae-sung returned to his quarters for a final check of his uniform. The small glass box on his desk caught his eye. "Hello, Moon-sun," he said softly. Inside the terrarium, his pet tarantula moved slowly across a small branch. The large black spider was a Chilean rose hare, a gift from his daughter before this historic mission. "Wish me luck, old friend." Tae-sung sprinkled a few food pellets into the terrarium. Moon-sun quickly moved toward the food, its 8 legs moving in perfect rhythm. The captain's communicator beeped. "Time to go," he said to himself. With one last look at Moon-sun, he left his quarters and headed to the airlock. The diplomatic team waited there. Ji-hyun Park, Science Officer Hyun-woo Lee, Security Chief Da-jung Shin, and 2 guards. All wore their best uniforms with the Earth Alliance symbol on their shoulders, a blue Earth surrounded by 7 stars. "Remember," Ji-hyun said as they waited, "the Council has been watching Earth for decades. They only invited us to join after we developed faster-than-light travel last year. They will test us. We must show them humans are peaceful and ready for galactic citizenship." The airlock doors opened with a soft hiss. A long, bright hallway stretched before them. At the end stood 3 alien figures. "Here we go," Tae-sung whispered. "Walk slowly and remember your training." The humans moved forward. As they got closer, they could see the aliens better. On the left stood a tall, thin being with blue skin and 4 arms. In the middle was a short, round creature with green scales and large eyes. On the right was something that looked like a giant praying mantis. "Welcome to the Galactic Council Station," the blue alien said in perfect English. "I am Ambassador Keylorn of the Azurian Confederation. These are my colleagues, Ambassador Griel of the Vesperi Hive and Ambassador Tulla of the Marakian Union." "Thank you for your welcome," Tae-sung replied with a small bow. "I am Captain Tae-sung Kim of the Earth Alliance vessel, Odyssey. We are honored to represent humanity in this historic meeting." The alien in the middle, Griel, blinked its large eyes. "We have prepared quarters for your delegation. Please follow us to the diplomatic wing." As they walked through the station, Tae-sung noticed something odd. The aliens kept glancing at them nervously, especially when Dae-jung moved his hand near his side. The security chief wasn't armed. They had agreed to come without weapons. But the aliens seemed jumpy. "Is something wrong, Ambassador Keylorn?" Ji-hyun asked, also noticing the tension. "No, nothing is wrong," the blue alien said quickly. "We are simply adjusting to your presence. Humans have a certain reputation." "Reputation?" Tae-sung asked. "What kind of reputation?" Before Keylorn could answer, they arrived at their quarters. "Please rest. We will meet for formal introductions in 3 hours." As the aliens hurried away, the humans looked at each other in confusion. "What was that about?" Hyun-woo asked. "I don't know," Tae-sung said, "but I intend to find out." 3 days after their arrival, The humans were still confused by the aliens' behavior. Every meeting with the council members had been tense. The aliens kept their distance and watched the humans with careful eyes. "I don't understand," Ji-hyun said during a private meeting in Captain Ta-sung's quarters. "We've done everything right. We've been polite. We've followed all their customs. Why are they still afraid of us?" "Maybe they know something about humans that we don't," Hyun-woo suggested. The science officer was feeding small fish to the creatures in his portable aquarium. He had brought samples of Earth's water life to study during their long journey. Tai-sung looked at Moon-sun, who was climbing the side of his terrarium. Or maybe they're afraid of something they don't understand. A beep from the door interrupted their talk. It was Ambassador Kilorn. "Captain Kim," the blue alien said with a small bow. "The council would like to learn more about Earth culture. Would you allow us to tour your ship?" Tae-sung smiled. "Of course. We would be honored." An hour later, Tai-sung led a group of 7 alien representatives through the Odyssey *. They showed interest in the ship's engines and weapons, but seemed most curious about the crew's personal quarters. "What is this room?" asked Greel, pointing to a door with a small paw print sticker. "That's Dr. Sang Mi-kang's quarters," Tai-sung explained. "She's our chief medical officer." "What does that symbol mean?" Greel asked. "It means she has a pet inside," Tai-sung said. "Many of our crew brought companions from Earth." The aliens looked at each other with wide eyes. "Would you like to meet her pet?" Ta-sung offered. "Sangmei has a beautiful cat named Bada." Before the aliens could answer, the door opened and Sangmei stepped out. In her arms was a large Maine Coon cat with thick gray fur and yellow eyes. "Hello, Captain," Sangmei said. "I was just taking Bada for his daily walk." The reaction was immediate. Ambassador Tulla made a high-pitched noise and jumped backward. 2 other aliens pressed themselves against the far wall. Greel's green scales turned pale. "Is that creature safe?" Kilorn asked, all 4 hands raised as if ready to defend himself. Sangmei looked confused. "Bada? Of course he's safe. He's just a cat." "Just a cat," Kilorn repeated slowly. "And those are fangs and claws." "Yes," Sangmei said, scratching under Bada's chin. The cat purred loudly, showing his sharp teeth. "All cats have them." "And you hold it voluntarily?" another alien asked. Tai-sung noticed the fear in their voices. "Perhaps we should continue the tour," he suggested. But the damage was done. The aliens kept staring at Bada with horror. The tour got worse when they passed Communications Officer Woo Jin's quarters and saw his ball python, Nabi, wrapped around his arm. Ambassador Greel actually fainted at the sight. When Engineer Do Yen showed them how she had trained her ferret Iseal to fetch small tools, Ambassador Tulla quickly made an excuse and left the ship. By the end of the tour, only Kilorn and 1 other alien remained. They looked shaken. "Captain Kim," Kilorn said in a stiff voice, "the council requests an emergency meeting to discuss this situation." "What situation?" Ta-sung asked. "The situation of dangerous predators freely roaming your ship," Kilorn said. "We had no idea humans kept such creatures as, what did you call them? Pets." After the aliens left, Ta-sung called his officers together. "I think I understand now," he said. "They're not afraid of us. They're afraid of our animals." "That's ridiculous," Dae-jung said. "My dog Bite-all wouldn't hurt anyone." "To us, that's obvious," Jae-hyun said slowly. "But think about it. What if all the alien species evolved from prey animals? What if they've never formed bonds with predators?" Hyun-woo nodded. "It would explain their reaction to Bada's claws and teeth, and why they nearly ran away when they saw Nabi." "We need to learn more," Tae-sung decided. "Ji-hyun, get me everything you can about the council species and their evolutionary history. We need to fix this misunderstanding before it becomes a diplomatic disaster." As they talked, Security Chief Salat of the council was calling for an emergency session. On his screen were pictures of the human pets, labeled potential biological weapons. The council meeting will start in 10 minutes, Jae-hyun told Captain Tae-sung as they walked quickly through the station's shining hallways. What did you learn about their species? Tae-sung asked. Ji-hyun looked at her datapad. I was right. Almost all council races evolved from prey animals on their home planets. The Azurians, like Ambassador Killorn, came from small tree-climbing animals similar to our squirrels. The Vesperi evolved from herd creatures like gazelles. Even the insect-like Merakians started as non-aggressive plant eaters. What about the more predator-looking species? Hyunwoo asked. Some of them have sharp teeth. Those are for plants and fruits, Jae-hyun explained. None of them evolved as meat eaters, and none of them have pets like we do. Tae-sung shook his head. So when they see our cats and dogs, they see monsters, Jae-hyun finished, and they think we're either crazy or dangerous for keeping them. They entered the council chamber, a large round room with seats for all 17 alien species. At the center was a table with screens showing pictures of Earth animals, mostly pets. Security Chief Salat, a tall alien with red skin and 6 eyes, stood at the front. Humans, he called out when he saw them. Please explain why you bring these killing machines onto our peaceful station. Tae-sung stepped forward. There has been a misunderstanding. These are not weapons. They are companions. Companions, Salat repeated. He pointed to a picture of a German shepherd. This creature has teeth that can tear flesh. It has claws. It can run faster than your kind. And you call it a companion? Yes, Tae-sung said simply. On Earth, humans have lived with dogs for thousands of years. They help us hunt, protect our homes, and give us friendship. The council members whispered among themselves. It was clear they didn't believe him. Ambassador Greel spoke next. We have examined your Earth broadcasts. We have seen your pets in your homes, sleeping in your beds, near your children. He shivered. It is unnatural. May I show you something? Ji-hyun asked. When the council nodded, she played a video on the main screen. The video showed a young girl playing with a golden retriever. The dog brought her a ball, and she threw it. The dog ran to get it and brought it back, tail wagging. The girl laughed and hugged the dog. This is my niece and her dog, Sunny, Jae-hyun explained. They grew up together. Sunny would give his life to protect her. 3 council members turned away from the screen. One made a sound like they might be sick. You let your young touch these predators? Ambassador Tulla asked in horror. You allow them to put their faces near those teeth. Hyunwoo tried next. He showed pictures of service animals, helping blind people, search and rescue dogs finding survivors in rubble, and therapy cats in hospitals. But with each new image, the council seemed more disturbed. Humans sleep with these creatures in their homes. Selat asked in disbelief when they showed a cat curled up on a bed. Yes, Tae-sung said. Many Earth homes have at least one pet. Some have many. Killorn stood up. The council will need to discuss this privately. Please wait outside. In the hallway, Tae-sung turned to his team. That didn't go well. They think we're either insane or super dangerous, Hyunwoo said. To them, it's like we're sleeping with tigers or playing with cobras. An hour later, they were called back in. Ambassador Killorn spoke for the council. After much discussion, we have decided that humans may keep their pets confined to their ship, but no animals are allowed on the station or any council world without special permission. Thank you for understanding, Tae-sung said, though he could see it wasn't understanding but fear that drove their decision. As they left, Tae-sung heard one alien ask another, what kind of species bonds with predators? What does that say about humans themselves? The answer came in a whisper. It says they are the most dangerous species we have ever encountered. Tae-sung realized they had a bigger problem than they thought. The galaxy didn't just fear their pets. They were beginning to fear humans too. 1 week after the council meeting, Things were still tense. The human crew was careful to keep their pets on the ship, but the aliens still watched them with fear and suspicion. Captain Ta Sung received a message from Earth Command. A formal peace treaty would be signed in 3 days. Important leaders from all council races would attend. "This is our chance to fix things," Tai Sung told his officers. "We need to show them that humans are peaceful, and that our pets aren't dangerous," added Dr. Sangmei. She was still upset about how the aliens had reacted to her cat. "Everyone, listen carefully," Tai Sung said. "For the next 3 days, all pets must stay in their cages. No exceptions. We can't risk any problems before the treaty." Everyone agreed, but they didn't know that trouble was already brewing. That night, as Dr. Sangmei slept, her cat Bada pushed against his cage door. The lock wasn't fully closed. After a few tries, the door swung open. Bada jumped down and walked around the room. He was bored. The door to the hallway was open a crack. The big Maine Coon squeezed through and began exploring the ship. He found a new open door, the main airlock. A crew member had just gone through it to the station. Bada slipped out before the door closed. For the first time, a human pet was loose on the Galactic Council station. The next morning, Dr. Sangmei woke up and saw the empty cage. "Bada," she cried out. She searched her room, then called security. "Chief Daejung, my cat is missing." Daejung organized search teams right away. They looked everywhere on the ship, but found nothing. "He must have gotten off the ship," Daejung told Captain Taesung. "He could be anywhere on the station by now." Taesung's face went pale. "Find him before the aliens do. Use your trackers." All pets from Earth had small tracking chips. The security team used handheld scanners to follow Bada's signal. Meanwhile, on the other side of the station, the council was having an important meeting. All 17 ambassadors sat around a large table. They were discussing the treaty with humans. "Can we trust them?" asked Ambassador Greel. "These humans who live with predators. They have followed our rules," Ambassador Killorn said. "All their animals have stayed on their ship." Just then, they heard a soft sound from a corner of the room, a quiet meow. Ambassador Tulla turned slowly. There, sitting on a hover chair, was a large gray cat with yellow eyes. Bada had found a comfortable spot to nap. "Predator!" Tulla screamed, jumping onto the table. "Predator!" in the chamber. Chaos exploded in the room. Ambassadors ran in all directions. Some tried to climb the walls. Others hid under the table. Security alarms blared throughout the station. Bada, surprised by the noise, jumped down and walked toward Ambassador Greel, who had fallen on the floor. "It's attacking me," Greel cried as Bada sniffed his foot. At that moment, the doors burst open. Taesung, Daejung, and Dr. Sangmei rushed in. "Bada, there you are," Sangmei called. The cat turned and trotted to her, purring loudly. She picked him up. "I'm so sorry about this, but the damage was done." The ambassadors looked at them with terror. Security Chief Salat called for backup on his communicator. "The peace treaty is canceled," he announced. "All humans must return to their ship at once." "Please," Taesung tried to explain. "This was an accident. Bada is harmless." "Harmless?" Salat pointed to the room. "Look at what your harmless pet has done." The room was a mess. Chairs were knocked over. Drinks were spilled. One ambassador was still hiding in a storage cabinet. As they were escorted back to their ship, Taesung saw station workers recording the incident. Their faces showed a mix of fear and curiosity. "This is bad," Jaehyun said as they returned to the Odyssey. "Very bad." "What do we do now?" asked Hyunwoo. Before Taesung could answer, his communicator beeped. It was a message from Earth Command. "Hafu otg of anxiety and historiating across Earth in et Orcs. Public reaction mixed. Some fidier, mostly amusement. A device on next stds. Tae-sung looked at his team. Then, for the first time since the crisis began, he smiled. Maybe, he said slowly, this isn't as bad as we think. 2 days after the Bata incident, as the crew now called it, the human delegation was stuck on their ship. The council had not called for any new meetings. The station workers who brought them food would not even look at them. We're being treated like we have a disease, Hanwoo complained. Captain Ta-sung called a meeting in the ship's main room. We need to understand what's happening out there, he said. Intelligence Officer Sunho, what have you learned? Sunho Kang, a quiet man with sharp eyes, stood up. It's worse than we thought, Captain. The video of the council meeting has spread everywhere, not just on Earth, but across the whole galaxy. He showed them images on the main screen, alien news reports about humans, pictures of Earth animals with red warning signs, maps of space with human territory marked in danger colors. The stories are getting bigger with each telling, Sunho explained. One news station said humans wear snakes around their necks. Another claimed we keep animals with poison fangs in our homes. A military report says we train our children to handle killing machines. That's not true, Sangmei said. I mean, some people do have pet snakes, but they're not dangerous if handled properly. And children learn to be gentle with animals. The aliens don't see it that way, Sunho said. Look at this. He showed a picture from an alien entertainment show. It showed a human sleeping in bed with a cat next to their face. The alien audience comments all showed horror and disbelief. One popular theory, Sunho continued, is that humans must have special powers to control wild beasts. They think we're some kind of, what's the Earth word? Wizards. Despite the serious situation, several crew members laughed. It's not funny, Jae-hyun warned. Sunho, have you found any threats against us? Sunho's face turned serious again. Yes, some military groups are saying humans are too dangerous to join the galactic community. They want to put a wall around our solar system, keep us contained. The room went quiet. They're afraid of us because we're not afraid of a house cat. Dae-jung asked finally. They're afraid because they don't understand us, Tae-sung said. And fear can lead to bad decisions. Just then, the ship's computer announced, incoming transmission from Earth Command. The face of Admiral Yoon appeared on screen. Captain Kim, I've reviewed your reports. The situation is serious, but not hopeless. What are your orders, Admiral? Ta-sung asked. Earth is sending a second ship, the Explorer *. It will arrive in 3 days with special cargo. What kind of cargo? Ta-sung asked. Admiral Yoon smiled. More pets. And their trainers. The best we have. More pets. Jae-hyun looked shocked. But Admiral, that's what caused this problem in the first place. No, Admiral Yoon said firmly. Misunderstanding caused this problem. And we'll fix it with understanding. Captain Kim, your new mission is to show the Council the truth about humanity's relationship with Earth animals. After the call ended, the crew was buzzing with questions and doubts. This could make things worse, Hyunwoo warned. Or it could work, Tae-sung said. Think about it. If the aliens believe we control dangerous beasts with special powers, let's show them the real power. Kindness, trust, and mutual respect. What if they don't listen? Dae-jung asked. Then we try again, Tae-sung said simply. That's what humans do. Later that night, as Tae-sung was feeding Moon-sun in his quarters, his door chimed. It was Ambassador Kilorn. Captain Kim, the blue alien said nervously. I came without telling the others. I need to ask you something. Of course, Tae-sung said, inviting him in. Kilorn's 4 eyes kept darting to the spider terrarium. Is it true, he asked in a whisper, that human children hold these creatures in their hands? Tae-sung smiled. Some spiders, yes. Would you like to see? Kilorn looked terrified, but nodded slowly. I want to understand. Tae-sung realized this might be their first real chance to build a bridge between their worlds. one brave alien at a time. Ambassador Killorn's secret visit changed everything. For 2 hours, Captain Taesung talked with him about Earth's animals. At first, Killorn stayed far from the spider terrarium. By the end, he stood just a meter away, watching Moonsun with nervous interest. "I still don't understand how you do it," Killorn said. "On my world, we stay away from creatures with fangs and claws." "It's about trust," Taesung explained. "We don't control our pets with fear. We earn their trust with kindness." The next morning, Taesung called his officers together. "We have a chance," he told them. "Killorn is curious. If one council member can be curious instead of afraid, others might follow." "What do you suggest, Captain?" Ji-hyun asked. "Admiral Yoon is sending more pets. I think we should use this opportunity." Cultural attaché Min Hee-yoon, a thoughtful woman who had been quiet until now, raised her hand. "Captain, I have an idea. Instead of hiding our relationship with animals, we should show it off." Everyone looked at her with surprise. "Think about it," Min Hee continued. "The aliens fear us because they think we control dangerous beasts. But what if we show them that our relationship with animals is about helping each other?" She turned to the screen and showed pictures. Guide dogs helping blind people, rescue dogs finding survivors in disasters, therapy cats in hospitals. "These aren't just pets," Min Hee said. "They're partners. And that partnership is based on love and respect, not fear and control." Taesung nodded slowly. "You're suggesting we change their fear into respect." "Exactly," Min Hee said. "If they're already afraid of us because of our pets, let's show them why that relationship makes us special, not dangerous." The crew talked for hours, making plans. When they finished, Taesung sent a message to Admiral Yoon with their idea. The next day, Ambassador Killorn returned, this time with Ambassador Greel. "Is it true," Greel asked nervously, "that you want to show us your pets in action?" "Yes," Taesung said. "We want to invite the council to a demonstration aboard our ship. We'll show you how humans and animals work together." "Many will be too afraid to come," Killorn warned. "We understand," Taesung said. "But those who do come will see something amazing." After the ambassadors left, Taesung received good news. The Explorer would arrive tomorrow with this special cargo, more animals and their trainers. That night, Taesung couldn't sleep. He sat looking at the stars, with Moonsun's terrarium next to him. "This has to work," he said quietly. "If we can't show them who we really are, they'll never trust us." He thought about Earth's long history with animals, how dogs had helped humans hunt, how cats had protected food from rats, how horses had carried humans across lands. It wasn't about control. It was about working together. The next day, the Explorer arrived. Captain Taesung and his team waited at the docking bay. The doors opened to reveal a tall woman in a captain's uniform. "Captain So-Yul Lee of the Explorer *", she said with a salute. "We brought what you asked for." Behind her came people leading dogs of different sizes. Others carried cases with cats. One man had a hawk on his arm. Another walked with a monkey on his shoulder. "These are Earth's finest animal partners," Captain So-Yul said. "And they're human teammates." Medical Officer Jun Seo-Kwon stepped forward with his therapy dog, a golden retriever named Haru. The dog was calm and gentle, wearing a special vest. "Haru can sense changes in human feelings and health," Jun Seo explained. "She helps sick people feel better." Security Chief Dae-jung introduced his German Shepherd, Bayol. "He can find lost people by their smell," Dae-jung said. "He's saved many lives." Engineer Du Yen showed how her ferret, Iziel, could run through small pipes to find problems. Taesung watched his crew with pride. Then he turned to Ji-hyun. "Send invitations to the council," he said. "Tell them Earth is ready to show the true power of humanity." "And what power is that?" Ji-hyun asked. Taesung smiled. "The power to make friends with those who are different from us." The day of the demonstration arrived. Captain Taesung stood nervously at the entrance to the Odyssey's main cargo bay, which had been turned into a show area. Seats were arranged in a circle, with a large open space in the middle. "How many council members are coming?" he asked Ji-hyun. "7," she replied. "Less than half, but more than we expected." Kilorn convinced some of the braver ones to attend. Taesung nodded. "That's enough. If we can change 7 minds, they can help change the others." At exactly noon, the alien guests arrived. Ambassador Kilorn led the group, with Greel and 5 others following at a safe distance. They looked around with wide, nervous eyes. "Welcome," Taesung said with a bow. "Thank you for coming. Please take your seats." The aliens sat down, keeping their escape routes clear. Security Chief Sela positioned his guards around the room, their weapons ready. "Today," Taesung announced, "we will show you the true relationship between humans and Earth animals. This is not about control or dominance. It is about partnership and trust." He nodded to Medical Officer Jun Seo, who walked to the center with his therapy dog, Haru. "This is Haru," Jun Seo explained. "She can sense when humans are sick or sad. She helps them feel better." Jun Seo showed how Haru could detect changes in human heart rate and blood pressure. When a crew member pretended to be upset, Haru went to him right away, putting her head on his lap. The aliens watched with surprise. One of them, a small purple being, leaned forward with interest. Next came Security Chief Da Jung with his German Shepherd Bayol. "Bayol can find people by their smell," Da Jung explained. "Watch." A crew member hid in a storage container across the room. Da Jung gave Bayol a piece of cloth to smell. The dog ran around the room, nose to the ground, until he found the right container. He sat down and barked once. "Good boy," Da Jung said, giving Bayol a treat. Ambassador Greel's eyes widened. "The animal understands commands." "Yes," Da Jung said. "Dogs are very smart. They can learn hundreds of words." Engineer Du Yen showed how her ferret, Izil, could run through small maintenance tunnels to find problems. The sleek animal returned with a broken part in his mouth. On Earth, Du Yen explained, "Ferrets helped us lay wires for communication systems. They can go places humans can't reach." Each demonstration showed a different way humans and animals work together. The aliens began to ask questions. Their fear slowly changed to curiosity. The highlight came when Falcon trainer Minho released his birds. The majestic falcon flew around the room, then returned to land perfectly on Minho's arm. On Earth, Minho said, "Humans and birds of prey have worked together for thousands of years. We help each other hunt and survive." "But it has sharp claws," Ambassador Kilorn pointed out. "Why doesn't it hurt you?" "Because we trust each other," Minho said simply. "Sol knows I will feed and protect him. I know he will return to me. We are partners." Next came the most important test. Captain So-yeol stepped forward with a small girl, the daughter of one of her crew members. "This is Hae-yun," So-yeol said. "She is 7 years old. Hae-yun, would you like to show our guests your friend?" The little girl nodded and held up a small cage. Inside was a fluffy hamster. "This is Gondori," Hae-yun said in a clear voice. "He's my best friend. Want to see him?" She opened the cage and the hamster climbed into her hand. The aliens gasped, but didn't run away. Hae-yun gently petted the tiny creature. "Would anyone like to touch him?" she asked. There was a long silence. Then, slowly, the small purple alien stood up. I would like to try," it said in a shaky voice. Hae-yun walked carefully to the alien and held out her hand. The hamster sat calmly, whiskers twitching. With a trembling tentacle, the alien gently touched the hamster's fur. "It's soft," the alien whispered in surprise. Taesung watched with tears in his eyes. It was a small moment, but it changed everything. For the first time, an alien was touching an Earth animal without fear. "Yes," Hae-yun said with a smile. Gondori is very soft. That's why I love him. 2 weeks after the demonstration, things were very different. The small purple alien who had touched Heyun's hamster was named Zilly. She was a xenobiologist, a scientist who studied alien life forms. After meeting Gondori, she asked to learn more about Earth animals. Soon, Zilly was spending every day with the human team, taking notes and asking questions. Other alien scientists began to join her. One morning, Captain Ta-sung received an invitation to address the full council. It was the chance they had been waiting for. "This is our opportunity," he told his officers. "But we need to be careful. Some council members are still afraid." When they entered the council chamber, Tai-sung was surprised to see Zilly standing at the front with the other leaders. Captain Kim, Ambassador Kilorn said formally, "Scientist Zilly has a report for us about humans and their companions." Zilly stepped forward, her purple skin glowing with excitement. "Honored Council," she began, "I have studied the humans and their animals for 14 days. My conclusion will surprise you." She showed pictures on the big screen, humans with their pets, working animals helping people, and wild creatures in nature. "We have misunderstood humans," Zilly said clearly. "We thought their control of predatory animals showed they were dangerous. But the truth is more interesting." The council members listened carefully as Zilly continued. "Humans don't control their animals through fear or special powers. They form emotional bonds with them. They understand the needs and feelings of creatures different from themselves." She paused, letting her words sink in. "This isn't a sign of danger. It's a sign of extraordinary empathy. Humans can connect with beings that don't look, think, or communicate like them. They see value in diversity." Ambassador Greel, who had once fainted at the sight of a snake, raised his hand. "But the animals have teeth and claws. They could hurt the humans." "Yes," Zilly agreed. "There is risk, but humans accept this risk because they believe the relationship brings more good than harm. They call it friendship and companionship." The council talked among themselves. Some nodded. Others still looked doubtful. Junior diplomat Young Ho-nam, the newest member of the human team, asked to speak. "Respected council," he said, "humans evolved as hunters who worked together. We survived by cooperating, not just with other humans, but with animals who had skills we didn't have. Dogs could smell better than us. Cats could see in the dark. Birds could alert us to danger." He showed a timeline of human history. "We didn't tame animals to show our power. We partnered with them because together we were stronger than alone. This taught us an important lesson. Different doesn't mean dangerous. Different can mean helpful." The council chambers grew quiet as the aliens thought about his words. Finally, Ambassador Kilorn stood up. "The council needs to discuss this privately. Please wait outside." The humans waited nervously for 2 hours. When they were called back, the atmosphere had changed. After much discussion, Kilorn announced, "We have reached a new understanding. We believe humans may have a special role to play in our galactic community." "What role?" Ta-sung asked. "Mediators," Kilorn said. "Bridge builders. Your species can connect with beings very different from yourselves. This is rare and valuable." Ambassador Greel spoke next. "If humans can form bonds with creatures that have fangs and claws, perhaps you can help us understand each other better. Our galaxy has many species who struggle to communicate." Zilly added, "Some council members have even expressed interest in trying this pet concept themselves. We will start with small, non-threatening Earth animals." Tai-sung could hardly believe what he was hearing. Their biggest problem had become their greatest strength. As they left the council chambers, Ji-hyun whispered, "They're not afraid of us anymore. They're interested in learning from us." Tai-sung smiled. All because of a little girl and her hamster. That night, as he fed Moon-sun, Tai-sung wrote in his log, "Today, we discovered that humanity's greatest gift isn't our technology or our strength. It's our ability to reach across boundaries and form connections with those different from ourselves." 6 months after the Council's new understanding of humans, The galactic station looked very different. In a special area called the Earth Zone, aliens from many worlds came to learn about Earth's animals. Captain Ta-Sung, now wearing the formal uniform of Earth's ambassador, walked through the zone with pride. Small groups of aliens were meeting different Earth animals under careful supervision. Ambassador Kim called Zilly, waving her purple tentacles. She sat with 3 other aliens, each gently petting a rabbit. These creatures are amazing. So soft, and they don't even have teeth that can bite deeply. I'm glad you're enjoying them, Tai-Sung said with a smile. Rabbits are perfect for beginners. Earth had sent more animals and trainers to the station. They started what they called pet therapy for aliens. First, the aliens met calm animals like rabbits and guinea pigs. Later, if they wanted, they could try meeting cats or friendly dogs. In another room, Ji-hyun Park was teaching a group of alien diplomats about golden retriever puppies. One brave Marakian was letting a puppy lick its claw. It doesn't hurt, the Marakian said with surprise. The tongue is soft. Dogs show affection this way, Ji-hyun explained. On Earth, we call it kisses. Nearby, Ambassador Greel, once terrified of all Earth animals, was sitting calmly while a kitten slept in his lap. I never thought I would do this, he told Tae-sung. But scientist Zilly was right. Your animals can sense feelings. This little one knows I was afraid, and is extra gentle with me. Tae-sung nodded. That's how trust begins. The biggest surprise was Ambassador Kilorn. After many visits with different animals, he had asked to meet Moon's son, Tai-sung's tarantula. Now, the blue alien was carefully holding the spider in his 4 hands, watching it move. Remarkable, Kilorn said softly. 6 months ago, I would have run away. Now I can appreciate the beauty in this creature. As Tai-sung continued his walk, he passed the new Human-Alien Cooperation Center. Inside, specialists from Earth worked with alien scientists, teaching them about animal care and training. Young Ho Nam, now a senior diplomat, was leading a discussion about service animals. On Earth, animals help humans with special needs, he explained. Some warn humans about health problems before they happen. Others become the eyes for blind people or the ears for deaf people. The aliens took careful notes. 2 species were already testing programs with their own planet's creatures, inspired by Earth's example. At the end of the day, Ta-sung attended a special ceremony. The council had made their decision official. Earth was now classified as a Category 1 empathic civilization, the highest designation for a spacefaring species. We honor Earth and its people, Ambassador Kilorn announced, for showing us that true strength lies in understanding, not fear. Your ability to form bonds with creatures different from yourselves shows an extraordinary capacity for empathy. As Kilorn spoke, Tai-sung felt a familiar weight on his shoulder. Moon's son, the tarantula, sat there calmly. 6 months ago, this would have caused panic. Today, it was a symbol of how much had changed. When Tai-sung stepped forward to accept the official declaration, the council members didn't flinch at the spider. Instead, they watched with interest and respect. On behalf of Earth, I thank you, Tai-sung said. We came to the stars hoping to find new friends. We never expected our oldest friends, our animals, would help us make those connections. Later, as the human team celebrated, Dr. Sangmi's cat Bata wandered through the party, accepting gentle pets from aliens who once ran from him in terror. Who would have thought, Sangmi said, watching an alien child carefully stroke Bata's fur, that our pets would be our best diplomats. Tae-sung looked around at what they had accomplished. Earth ships were now welcome at all council worlds. Trade agreements were being signed. Cultural exchanges were happening everywhere. All because the galaxy had learned an important truth. Those who could love creatures with fangs and claws could surely find ways to love beings with tentacles, scales, or extra eyes. The things that had once terrified the galaxy had become the very things that brought it together.